I'm excited to show you how I made this flyer. So to create this flyer, you want to make sure that you choose the right size. So go under File, New, and I'm using the 10 by 10 with a 300 resolution. So the first thing we're going to do is to drop in our background. So I'm going to drag and drop, and I'm going to move it, and I'm just going to scale it. We want to go ahead and bring in our images. So notice that this one I have already taken off the background. Now, if you have an image and you're not sure how to take off the background, I'm going to use this as a sample for you to see. So you open your file, you drop in your image, go under your properties. You're looking for quick action. If you don't see quick action, you need to first of all convert your image into a layer. So you want to click on convert layer, say yes. Then you will be able to see remove background. So you can click on that. Now, if you want to blend in the bottom of your subject, right click on your layer mask thumbnail, apply layer mask. So we remove the background. Now add a new layer mask. You want to pick up your brush tool with your foreground as black. You can paint. If your foreground is not set to black, click on the little icon to set it to black and white. Click on the arrow to flip your colors. Once you pick up your brush, you want to make sure your cap locks is off. If your cap locks are on, you will not be able to see the size of your brush. And use your left and right bracket to either increase your brush or reduce your brush. Now you need to go under your brush options to make sure that your hardness is set to 0. You can go ahead and basically brush in, blend in your image with your background. So now that you know how to take off the background, we want to go ahead and begin to add in the different elements. So I'm going to go back to my folder, drag and drop this in, and we are going to pull this down. Now, I'm sure you're asking, Trish, where did you get this? If you go on Google, you can basically type in gold happy birthday PNG. Now, typically when you do a search, you will have to click on images so you can see the options that are available to you. So you can scroll down and you can begin to click to see the ones that don't have a background. Now, when you click on it and it activates the checker on an image that had a white background, it means that this is a PNG file. So guys, I hope this was helpful. Let's jump back into the tutorial. So now that we have this, we want to go ahead and type in happy birthday in a vertical. So I'm going to pick up my type tool and I'm going to flip my foreground to white, the Century Gothic Pro, pick up my move tool, and I'm just going to go ahead to scale my text and rotate. So you hold one end and you can just rotate. Hold down your shift so you can rotate in the 90 degrees. Now you can see that we have our text on top of our subject. If we want to put it below our subject, go into your layers panel and drag that layer and set it below. So we want to create a stroke effect. Now you can do this technique with any text. So you want to go under your fill, take your fill all the way to 0, click on your FX and click on stroke. It will automatically select your stroke style and you can either increase your size or decrease it. So I'm going to set it to 3 and I'm going to go ahead to click OK. Now you really cannot see the happy. So what we want to do is we want to add a gradient effect. So we are going to go to our adjustment and we are going to choose a gradient. Now we want to keep it very simple. So click on your gradient color, click on the color, and we want to choose the blue within our background image. And we also want to click on the white end and do the same thing. So we have something like this. I'm going to go ahead to click OK. Click on the layer mask gradient. I'm going to pick up my brush tool. I'm going to turn off my cap lock so I can see my brush head. And I'm going to take my opacity down. And I'm just going to just brush in this area so that I can still maintain my textured background. We want to go ahead and make a copy of our text. So you want to click on Command J, make a copy, move this out, right click, and we are going to clear the layer style. And I'm going to double click to bring the layer style. Now we want to add an inner shadow, we want to add an outer glow, and we want to add a drop shadow. So if I click on my inner shadow, you can notice that I have it on normal. Opacity is around a 57, and then my distance is at 3, choke is at 100, size is at 6. And notice the contour that I'm using. Now my outer glow, I'm using a honey mustard color, and my blend mode is on Dodge. My opacity is around a 44, and my spread, you can see 11, and my size is at 65. So just notice the properties, and I added a quick drop shadow so you can see the settings as well. So I'm going to go ahead to click OK. Click on our shape, pick our eclipse, and I'm going to hold down my shift, and I'm going to make a circle just like that. I'm going to leave my fill color empty and my stroke 30. I'm going to click on my stroke, click on your gradient option, and we want to double click to bring up the gradient editor. And we are going to click on our stop. So we're going to choose something like this. You can hold down your options and make a copy, slide it. We want to set white color in the middle. Now we want to change our gold so it's a little bit more rich. We want to make a duplicate of our eclipse. The bottom eclipse, we want to go ahead and take off our stroke effect, but the fill, we want to add a color. Now we just added a white color, and I'm going to take the opacity down a little, double click on your layer style. Now we're going to add an inner glow as well as a drop shadow. Now it's the same effects that we added to our text. When I click on my glow, these are the properties that I'm using. Now we want to add in a date. So pick up your type tool, and we are going to click on our foreground. We want to pick a color within our gold ring, and we are going to go ahead and type in the month. Notice that the text came below, so you need to move your text and set it all the way above. Now we are going to zoom in, and I'm going to show you a little trick. Now if you want both text to align, you can double click on the bottom text, and you can make your text a little bit smaller so it all lines up with the top text. So we're going to make a copy of both rings. So hold down your shift, select both, and make a copy. Command J, make a copy, and we are going to move that and set that in this area, and we are going to go ahead and move it and set it somewhere here. Click on our inner eclipse, and we want to even take down the opacity. Click on gold ring to bring up the layer style. We're going to add an outer glow, and we are going to click and change the color. We want like a goldish effect, so something like this. Now we want to change the blend mode to Dodge. Now we can decrease the opacity, and you can go ahead and click OK. If you're enjoying this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and also comment below and let me know which part of this flyer you love the most. So if you type in a font and you want to reduce it, you can just select the role that you want to reduce, go under your property, and you can reduce it just like that. You can also change the color right here. Now, if you want to close up the spacing, we will highlight both. Go under your A over A in your properties, and we can close in the gap. Drag and drop this in, and obviously this is way too much. So, but well, some people like it, but I feel it's a little too much. So you can hold your shift and you can scale this out. So you can see that I have it set like that. Now, we obviously don't want the confetti on the date. So I'm selecting both the date and the eclipse, and we are going to move that and set that above. You can basically play with it to get it to the level that you want, or you can add some more, but I will caution you, don't overdo the confetti. You want to create one file. So you want to hold down Shift Option Command E, one single file. We are going to go under filter and we want to choose camera raw filter. Finish off your final product. You can increase your temperature is to increase the vibrance and the richness of the gold. Now, if you overdo the saturation, it will make your image too goldish. Increase our contrast. So guys, this is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. If you're new, you're welcome. I have a challenge for you. I want you to do this tutorial and share your flyer with me on Instagram. I will go through it and I will feature some of you and give you a shout out and even give you tips on how to better your flyers.